Disclaimer. Portions of this episode's audio were rendered unusable due to Superior Dave's insistence on hitchhiking across the southern states through spotty service areas on his way to Magic 30. The end result being a shorter and maybe not entirely coherent podcast. We've done our best. Please do not send hate mail.
Welcome to Magic Proving Grounds, the only Magic the Gathering podcast that proves having 2 time travel sets in 1 year is cool.
I don't like time travel.
Time travel is cool, man.
Yeah, I don't like time travel either. The rules are different all the time, depending on how people want to handle it. I hate it.
Get yourself a good bootstrap paradox. Those are fun.
It's just an easy way to retcon, an uninspired way to retcon something that you messed up on.
Oh, shit.
We'll talk about this later during the Brothers.
Looper was cool, though.
I've never seen Looper. Doctor Who is very cool. I'm your host, moderator Dave, and I have with me today Ben.
Hey, everybody.
And other Dave, also known currently as Superior Dave.
Not just currently, permanently.
Yeah, no. It's getting to be eternal format there.
And non-rotating.
Okay. I have not lost yet, so
one of these days we'll get you. I think since we already picked out a challenge for this week, next challenge is going to be you with a pre-con deck versus our best decks.
Like a starter deck.
I am okay doing a challenge where we all pick precons.
Okay. We'll leave that for the future then.
Because I mean, there's probably new precons with Dominaria, right?
Yeah, they're well, they already put them out. Yeah.
But the question is whether or not they'll be on Arena.
Yeah.
I can give one of you a code for the starter decks that were released.
Do like free cards.
Yeah.
Talk about that after the show. What have you guys been doing this week?
Mostly just trolling the internets for cool new cards. I'm very excited.
It's been really hard not to get hyped for this Dominaria United set. I will say that there's a lot of cool cards coming out that we will be talking about in the spoiler show.
A substantial amount of my week has been spent talking about Magic cards.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I actually haven't gotten a lot of playing done because I've been trolling the Reddits and the Twitters looking for new cards.
Yeah, and I've been reading the story too. Pretty good.
I'm like one episode in. We got to finish it so we can talk about it on the podcast. Anyways, let's get to the news.
So breaking news as of this podcast.
Oh, new news?
Literally, it's about 20 minutes old.
Oh.
eBay has agreed to acquire TCG Player for $295 million.
What?
That's after they bought
Channel Fireball.
So They just ate Channel Fireball to get big enough to where eBay would want them. I'm depressed. I don't know if this is good news.
I don't know if that's good news either. Because eBay is owned by... Isn't eBay owned by somebody too? Somebody always owns somebody, right?
I think eBay is its own company, and they own
I guess
PayPal.
It is. They own PayPal. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Well,
so
that could be a little weird.
I don't like it. It makes me feel dirty.
So if I have a seller rating on TCG Player, will I have a seller rating on eBay? Because that might be a good plus.
Yeah, I don't really know what I think how to feel about it.
I don't know how to feel about it either. I assume that they would operate them independently from one another. But
I would not assume that.
Yeah, but maybe they don't. I don't.
Yeah, because I would assume it would have there'll probably be some kind of cross pollination, cross germination, however you want to say it. But I would bet anything that's on TCG Player will be on eBay, and anything that's on eBay will be on TCG Player. Because otherwise, why would you buy them?
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
So you're telling me I can buy a Cheeto that looks like Jesus Christ on TCG Player in the coming future?
One can only hope.
I mean, that is a plus. So maybe it won't be all bad.
I guess we'll see about that. Might affect my card buying over the internet.
Man, I'm
quite
like,
a bit.
buy local, and then I'm probably just going to buy from Card Kingdom at this point because
Ew. So expensive.
Yeah, but I guess it depends because they just unionized. So if they actually go through with the bargaining and set up a contract for their people instead of fighting it like a lot of places do, then it'll be all right. But I'll pay a little bit more. So I can't get it locally.
So as of right now, just because I just read this, eBay has said that they plan to have TCG Player to continue to operate autonomously. And then TCG Player said this new chapter allows us to continue operating independently within eBay while also benefiting from their decades of industry experiences and resources to deepen the connection between hobbyists and their communities. With eBay support, we will advance our purpose, expand our tools and services to improve the collecting experience online in your favorite local hobby store.
My question is, what kind of secret sauce is in that Binder POS software that everybody's like eating other companies to get?
Yeah. So you'll go to ebay.com and then you'll click a tab that says TCG Player, and it'll only be TCG cards and related stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like they're going to continue to have their own website. eBay will probably put a link to that website somewhere in their main page. And then they're going to give probably TCG Player access to things like, because I've never sold anything on TCG Player. So through TCG Player, can you buy your shipping labels? You have to buy those separately.
I've never sold anything on TCG Player. So
I don't know because I just went to the post office and had them do the stuff.
Yeah, so I'd imagine that's probably kind of some of the infrastructure stuff that TCG Player will benefit from is like with eBay, when you sell something, it instantly is just like, all right, now buy your label. And then when you buy your label, it instantly sends the tracking information to the buyer. So
it might be a good thing overall.
Yeah. So probably just streamline the infrastructure some.
Yeah, as long as the prices still stay low, because currently that's my preferred place to buy stuff because it seems like it's the most consistent with the lowest prices.
TCG Player takes a cut of your sale, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what that cut is?
No, I don't remember. I haven't sold too much stuff on it.
So the only way that I could see it affecting the prices is if that percentage goes up. So I know on eBay, the percentage, I believe, for collectibles is 13 to 16%, depending on the collectible.
Okay.
So unless that percentage goes up on TCG Player, I don't see people raising their prices just because eBay owns it.
Unless eBay wants a bigger cut, yeah.
Yeah, now if that percentage goes up, then maybe that changes things. But typically also it is cheaper on the shipping because eBay has some kind of deal worked out with the post office.
Oh, right.
Usually the seller gets like a 30% discount on shipping.
Might end up being better overall.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll see. It's definitely a wait and see type situation. Speaking of wait and see type situations, Wizards Presents laid out the roadmap for the upcoming year in Magic. And you guys want to talk about it?
Yeah.
You do? I want to talk about it.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
You guys can talk about it. I'm going to take a nap.
You can go ahead and log off
when you're done.
Yeah. No. Okay, so coming this fall, we already know about Dominaria United. We're stoked. It's coming to Arena on the 1st of September, and it's going to be...
That feels really soon.
It does feel really soon. It's like we've got one more episode before it's out. This one and then the next one. So, next week's spoiler episode, y'all. So tune in for that, I guess. I'm very stoked for that. But something that I'm very stoked for and have been waiting to see get some more information about is the Brothers War set, which is the last standard set of this year. They announced it. As people were kind of speculating, it will be a time travel set. So somebody's going back in time to the Brothers War.
Yeah.
I certainly hope they don't use this as an opportunity to retcon the fact that Urza sucks, because I think that would be bad.
It'd be interesting.
Because
I'm not happy with like Phyrexia coming back and invading Dominaria again to begin with.
Yeah, I know. You were so salty about it when you heard about it.
Yeah, I'm very salty about it. I mean, the whole point of like the legacy and everything they built was, the first how many years of Magic was like story was to keep the Phyrexians off Dominaria forever, and then now they're back. So I don't know.
That's what you get for trusting Urza, the incel wizard from the desert, with your protection of your plane.
Hey, he did some stuff.
Oh, he
was
did
a heartless,
do some stuff.
humanless bastard. But I mean, in the end,
in the end, he saved Dominaria, but actually not really. So.
Yeah, just like overwritten so many years of history. But we'll see how they overwrite so many years of history when they go to the Brothers War set.
Yeah, they're totally gonna like retcon some stuff, I fear.
But I am interested in the cards. I am very excited about the cards they've shown so far, and the Brothers War promises to be an artifact heavy set, I would assume, and I love me some artifacts. So.
If it's not artifact heavy, I'm going to be one angry boy, because that's what the Brothers War was about. Big, giant artifact,
tiny thopters
smashing each other. Dragon engines. A decent Dragon Engine card, not the original Dragon Engine card. It's a 4/4. Something worthy of the story that was written for the book, because that was a pretty good story.
It was the worst story.
Oh, what? Jeff Grubb is one of my favorite Magic authors. You're going to be hating on him in that book?
You said Jeff Grubb?
Yeah, he wrote that run, right?
Yeah. The Brothers War?
Yeah, he wrote Brothers War.
Yeah.
He also wrote
I guess it just threw me off for a second. Sorry, I was thinking of a different Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, it's not the one that works for IGN or wherever he works. It's a different one.
Giant Bomb. But yeah, he also gets confused for the author all the time, so it's normal.
Simple mistake. So, Brothers War, you guys got any more to say about this, or should we move on to the next set?
No.
So, do you think this is going to be one of the time travels where they go back and they change the Brother War, and then the entire history of Magic changes, and everything is different from here on out? Are they going to have to go back from Brothers War and just continue onward, reprinting every set but slightly different?
It'd be really weird if they did.
Yeah. Or is this one of those time travel things that doesn't affect history, and they just go back in time and they come back and everything's fine?
Well, it's weird because I missed a bunch of the story and largely became uninterested in the story because they just kept moving around and I had to learn new characters and new planes. And that's like, so I kind of fell off from the story shortly, really the Ravnica block.
Wait, hold on. Now I have an issue.
Okay.
With what you just said.
Oh, no,
Those-
our secret's out. I stopped reading with the first Ravnica set of books, too.
My issue is not with when you chose to stop reading, but my issue is with you. Your complaint being that you had to learn new characters, but like every one of those blocks of books are new characters.
What do you mean?
I you read the Onslaught block. That was a whole new set of characters.
Yes, it was 6 books though.
And then you read the Mirrodin block, and that was a whole new set of characters.
It had tangential relations to the other blocks.
It had Karn in it, so you were like, "Ooh, what's Karn doing?" And then
Well, you didn't know Karn was in it till the very end.
What? I'm pretty sure they established
That's accurate. No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
You didn't find out Karn was the creator until late.
My bad.
But I was okay with suppressing, like I was okay for doing it 2 and 3 times. But then when they started continuing to do it, it was like 3 books is not enough to make a story that I can invest in. And then they started moving to like the 1 block stories. And then my overall large point is somewhere, and because I don't know, somewhere in there, they unified everything and made it so that planeswalkers travel to different planes. And then you have these planeswalkers that you can and get invested in, but they go to different planes, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, they something called the mending happened where they fundamentally changed the way that planeswalkers exist, correct?
Yes, but that was before Lorwyn. It was when they introduced Planeswalker cards and stuff.
Sure. My concern is the Brothers War going to alter that?
How
saying.
The Planeswalkers work?
Yeah, because theoretically, if you go back and you say stop Urza from opening the portal on the Caves of Koilos, and doing all that, or you do something around that, then you don't need to do the mending.
Well,
I don't know. This is all theorization.
And then early planeswalkers could be planeswalker cards.
To get meta, the reason why where the mending happened and why planeswalkers were changed is so that they could write stories about
that had stakes. Yes,
characters that weren't gods, because it's kind of hard to tell a
Superman problem, right?
Yeah, about an all-powerful character. And some of the ways they tried to do it with Urza kind of felt cheesy when they would put him in a situation that was like high stakes for him through cheesy happenstance. What book was it where he got the artifact creature trap that kept spinning his guts so that he couldn't concentrate enough to planeswalk out?
Oh, right.
Stuff like that seemed weird. I'm tired of coming up with convoluted ways to put these high-powered characters in peril, so we're just going to fix it so they're not gods.
Right. And if you're going to do a time travel set, my second point is, if you're going to do a time travel set, you have to have it affect the future, or else why do you do it?
Yeah, it'll definitely affect the future. I think it's going to be... this is my fat hot take for the outcome of this prediction, is that Karn is going to go back in time like Urza wanted to try to stop the Phyrexian incursion before it happened. And then what he's going to do is set off a chain of events that he comes back in Dominaria is Phyrexian world. They've actually taken over because he went back in time and tried to fix it, and he set off a chain of events that actually allowed them to take control of Dominaria.
That would make sense with the next set. Phyrexia, all will be one.
Yeah.
Will Karn be completed?
Can you complete a Iron Golem?
No. Karn, according to the news story that they just released, Karn is unsusceptible to Phyrexian influence. That is one of the main sticking points.
Okay.
The glistening oil can't get in him. But yes, they still call it glistening oil.
Well, I mean, what else would you call it?
Yeah.
Shiny goo.
Okay, so you think the Brothers' War will occur and they'll go back in time, but and then they go back, it ends up that Phyrexia never left. They just took over at Urzapart.
I'm still annoyed that someone can say that 3 books isn't enough to get to know the characters, but for someone who says they love the Dragonlance books, that's only really a trilogy.
Yes.
How is 3 books not enough to get to know the characters?
I didn't think that the Ravnica block was a good set of characters, personally. So,
okay.
Well, and large part the Kamigawa block, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm fixing to come to your house, man, and put you in your place. Kamigawa block was amazing. I loved it.
It was really good, but I just don't think that 3 was good enough. I think they should have continued, and it would have been way better.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're just talking nonsense.
Look, I have a problem. I don't like things to end. So when you stop talking about characters and you make their story final and ending, then that upsets me.
It's the curse of being a fan of shared world fiction.
Yeah.
Keeps going forever. Yeah. Okay. We should probably move on before some fights break out. So Phyrexia, moving forward, we don't have a lot of information on these sets other than names and vague assertions when they'll be released. But Phyrexia, all will be one is after Brothers' War. And like I said, I think that matches up with my prediction that they're going to screw something up in the past and make Phyrexia take over at least Dominaria, if not a large swath of the multiverse, using Dominaria as like a breachhead. And that's what this set will be about.
Well, they've systematically been going to different planes and dropping Phyrexian influence there. They did it on Kamigawa. They did it on New Capenna. So, in Kaldheim. So
rather unsuccessfully on New Capenna.
Was there
the first time there was an invasion there that they repelled, and then I think they're. I didn't read the entire story, but I think they're still there.
Yeah, there is because there's a red praetor there in the set.
Not with any kind of sizable force.
Okay.
I still can't believe, since we're talking about the story, a Johnny being a sleeper.
Well, hey.
Well, we know by the card.
Yeah. His name is a Johnny sleeper agent.
He's just a sleepy boy. He's like a little kitty.
But he has the word completed on his card.
And they put out a trailer showing him as the bad. Like, this is not.
I'm in denial, okay?
His non-seeing eye is now red.
Yeah.
I can't believe that either. It makes me like.
Of all the planeswalkers to pick, a Johnny.
He's just Big Daddy Kitty. You don't want him to be. I think they were really going for the jugular there for the fans.
So I guess now my question is, when do you think a Johnny was completed? How long do you think he's been a sleeper agent?
Good question.
See, I was thinking about this when the card came out, and it would have to be sometime after Kamigawa, because Tamio was the first planeswalker, according
that we know of.
According to the Phyrexians, the first planeswalker to be completed. She was the first successful planeswalker completion.
And no spoilers, but the first episode of this new story says that people can be completed and not even know it.
I know, but like what I'm saying is that...
But the Phyrexians would know. And if the Phyrexians are saying to me as the first...
The Phyrexians in the when they completed her and Kamigawa were like, we successfully completed our first planeswalker.
Oh, right.
Unless they're like fourth wall breaking, lying to the audience at that point in time.
No, I agree with that. So some way between Kamigawa and Dominaria, a Johnny was completed.
Mm-hmm. That's my assertion, yes.
But but it's possible he doesn't even know he's completed.
Yes.
That's the point I was making.
He's a sleeper agent, yeah. So he wouldn't know until, Order 6
they activated him, right.
And then
what's exciting me about this whole thing is it's a whole block of Dominaria stuff. It's not just one contained set. It's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 sets and then a supplemental set of some sort that we don't know much about, the aftermath.
Yeah. It's not a set, but it is standard legal, and it will have new cards in it, it's according to Mark Rosewater's blog.
Yeah.
The thing, I don't like the fact that the Phyrexians are back on Dominaria, but I do like the fact that we've got a story arc that feels like Apocalypse.
Yes.
Apocalypse 2.0, if you will, where there's multiple sets building up to one final conclusion. I don't feel like we've had that in a while.
No, because they stopped doing blocks for a while, like a long time.
I guess War of the Spark, you could say, was kind of that, but it was built up. But
so I guess it fits for Magic 30 that they'd want to bring the big bad back.
Anyways, we should move on to the rest of this year's standard sets.
Or next year.
Next year. Well, the year moving forward. Next year's fall and winter sets, if you will.
Oh, I did want to point out that the March of Machines Aftermatch, that weird supplemental set that's not a full set, usually when they do stuff like that, the cards aren't standard legal, like the Mystical Archives or whatever. This says that the cards will be standard legal in it.
Yes, standard legal on the...
And new cards, brand new cards, not just reprints.
Yes. I mean, I know you guys were hyped and all, but I did say that like earlier.
Oh, did you?
In the episode, yeah. We were all hyped, so we'll overlook it, but...
I just love Dominaria, I'm just saying. I'm all for it.
So the fall set for 2023 will be Wilds of Eldraine. So we're going back to Eldraine. We're going to get some Cookie Men and some Witches. Yeah, I think this will be significantly less powerful than the original Eldraine set.
Wilds of Eldraine will be the first set in the rotation, like after Standard rotates out. So like Midnight Hunt to New Capenna will cycle out, and Wilds of Eldraine will be the first set there. It might need to be kind of powerful, but maybe they just overcorrect, and maybe it isn't. Maybe the powerfulness of this whole block is enough to carry Standard. Yeah, it's totally possible, because you can't have every set be more powerful than the last, because then power creep.
The name of my metal band.
You got to have some downs in order to have ups.
And then moving off of Wilds of Eldraine, we're going back to Ixalan, when they're going to find some caves, apparently.
They were lost.
They were misplaced. The Lost Caves of Ixalan in winter 2023.
I don't really have any propensity for Ixalan.
Now that we've talked about the standard sets, let's move on to the supplemental sets for the year, and we'll just name drop them, say a couple things about them, and then move on. So first up on the docket in early 2023 is Dominaria Remastered. I know what you're thinking. There was a set called Dominaria, but it was just one set. How are they remastering one set? Because usually they do remaster. It's a block that they shove into one set. What's going on here?
Unless it's on Arena, and it's called Kaladesh Remastered.
Remastered. That's what I mean. Anyways, what is going on here? I expected you to answer, but you didn't, so I'll keep going. It's a speed run, man. What they're doing is taking iconic cards from Dominaria's past. So every set that's been set on Dominaria has a iconic card associated with it, or whatever. Could have an iconic card associated. That's where they're getting these cards from. So you have
Gaia's Cradle,
Apocalypse, Alpha, Beta, Apocalypse, Plane Shift, the whole spiel.
So basically everything from the up until Apocalypse, if it's not on the reserve list, is game.
Yeah. Kind of confusing as to what the legality of this will be, but I assume
it'll just be legal in whatever format they're in.
Yeah, standard repent procedure is legal in whatever format it is, so I assume that's what we're going with here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume Lightning Bolt will be in here. It's an easy include. They did show some spoilers for Force of Will, so that's cool.
Yeah, that is neat. You don't have to pay $135 for that card anymore, I guess.
Yep.
For a common. It's kind of crazy. They could have called it something like Dominaria Legacy remastered or Dominaria Saga remastered, something, because it just sounds like they're remastering the Dominaria set.
Yeah, which was, I was like, what?
Re-releasing the but
yeah,
this is cool. I like it. I'm okay with this.
The name should have been workshopped a little better, but I'm down with the concept for sure. And then I guess we should have mentioned this first, since you're going through things chronologically. Warhammer 4K is coming out on October 7th. Just a reminder for those who care.
Yeah,
it's a space set.
If Commander set
Warhammer universe. Yeah, it's a Commander set for the Warhammer universe, which is set in space.
So only in Eternal formats.
Yes. And then, also, mid-year 2023, they're releasing the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. That's a thing that will be modern legal.
Yeah. That's the exciting part, is that this is modern legal and not only in Eternal formats.
Yes. I don't know. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I've been done dirty so much by the Hobbit movies that I kind of am always, like, low-key.
I've never seen them. The Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set will release mid-year 2023 and be modern legal, so I think it's safe to assume this is Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah.
And it will change the face of modern like crazy.
Tolkien skint.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited but apprehensive.
I just don't want to buy a whole new mess of cards for modern. Jeez.
Oh, dude, you're going to buy 3 boxes of this. Don't even act like
3 is not enough, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like 7 or 8 is enough. You might as well just buy the singles. I'll probably just buy the singles.
You really should. Yeah, but you won't.
I know.
Okay, so this is the last thing, and then we gotta wrap things up. But Doctor Who is getting a Universe Beyond Commander set that's also collector's boosters and a secret lair. It's confusing as to what's going on here, but it's
just
awesome,
like the show.
I want it. You know what? This show is awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be a standard Commander release, kind of like Warhammer, but there's some other stuffs that they're also selling. Or actually, it'll probably be more like the Baldur's Gate one, right?
Well, they're doing
collector's boosters.
Yeah, they're doing 4 commander decks. There will be collector boosters, and there will be a secret lair.
Okay, so a mix between the Baldur's Gate set and the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah,
in between that. It's not a full set release that's draftable. You'll have collector's boosters that have cards that are not in the commander decks, assumably, and then secret layer cards. Okay.
Yep. If you insist on making it confusing, you can look at it like that. Let's talk about the next challenge and then get out of here.
Sounds good.
Who issued this challenge? It wasn't me.
I will issue a challenge. I know I just did one, but that wasn't a real challenge.
It wasn't, because there was no
title. Yeah, right.
Non-title match.
So I thought that we could do a Pauper challenge in Arena based on the historic format. So everything that's legal and historic, but only commons. And sometimes it gets confusing whether or not it was a common or not. So we're just going to go with cards that are printed on Arena as common. So, for example, Counterspell is a rare, but it was printed at a lower legacy. But for purposes of this challenge, it will be counted as a rare and thus illegal.
Yes.
And we'll do best 2 out of 3 with use of sideboards.
Yep. And we'll be streaming next week on Monday. Typical stream time.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep. So catch us then. Oh, who won the last challenge? Did we talk about that? It was David. It was other David, Superior David. He won.
Yes, he won the Gladiator challenge.
Yes. Check out the YouTube. Yes. Yeah. No, I was a little surprised. I thought I had a chance, but that proved not to be the case.
Yeah.
So if you want to see that, check out the YouTube channel.
Spoilers. It was inconsistent, just like Commander is.
You got to roast Commander like that. Yes.
Well, yes. Everything else was inconsistent.
Exactly. So tell them where they can find us so we can wrap this show up.
You can find us on Twitter at MPGPod. That is where you can send us direct messages and any comments that you have. You can also send us an email at podcast@magicprovinggrounds.com. You can follow me on Twitter at BeNiceMPG. Where can they find you, Moderator Dave?
They can find me on Twitter at Dave_MPG. They can find Superior Dave nowhere because the internet is above a man of his caliber, and he does not bother with such trifle things.
Well, last we heard, he was in Texas on his way to Magic 30 in Las Vegas, hitchhiking through. So we'll probably get an update on that next week. Unfortunately, Texas has some bad service in the eastern part, and I guess we lost him during this recording at some point.
Anyways, let's wrap this thing up. Cue the outro music.
See you next week.